I absolutely believe that creativity is an addiction. It's something you're born with, and throughout life, you just want to get rid of it because it keeps you awake at night, and more importantly, people steal from your creative energy. And it's like, how am I supposed to live with this? By listening to it, by building a relationship with it. Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity, totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Chapter number 279, September 11th, 2021. The forest is cool this new sun. A chill I know all too well. It's happening, the shifting of the seasons. God's about to grab his paintbrushes and ignite the Carolina sky. This always has a way of getting back to our human way and shape. With a change in the atmosphere, so shall the human, but without the bright, colorful leaves once green. No fall can be predicted, nor is it perfectly laid out for fans to buy the best seat in the house. When fall comes, there's less light, the single most important grabber of attention. The moody strolls aren't so easily let go of because the weight of the world continues to stack up on each and every one of our shoulders. No matter what takes place, it feels like it's always our fault. And if you don't, then the numbness dulls the horizon by way of night. When will we celebrate the rebirth of spring is all we can say. I say this because since March of 2020, the new normal has barely lasted the season of a leaf. It's as if we keep reliving fall. I look deeply into this forest for a simple answer. It speaks with no voice, only grace. Does it feel like every day has been the same since March of 2020? It was like on the 12th or 13th of that month when the pandemic put everybody inside their homes. We didn't know. We didn't have any idea what the certain plan was going to be. Therefore, we all gave birth to this word that's always been with us, but we just haven't put a lot of energy into it. It was called uncertainty. And on this particular day, which was September 11th, 2021, 20 years after the Twin Towers fell in New York City, there was no mention of that. It was all about what was in the presence of his now, because today's physical date happens to be January 26th, 2022. So many different days have gone by. And I say different days because it's not the same. It may feel the same, but it's not the same. And you've got to convince your imagination as well as your heart that, hey, look, each morning you rise with that sun, it's going to be a different day. Only you choose to make it the same. We are all creatures of habit, but you can break those habits. You can do different things. One of the horrible things that I picked up along the way since March of 2020 is always having my face in the news headlines. It's almost as if I've got to know what's going on 24/7. So when I read of the dangerous world that's currently being created in the when I read of the dangerous world that's being created in Ukraine with Russia on this side and the United States backing up Ukraine, you're going, oh no, what pandemic? We've been here before, right? Several times, if you read history. But the thing is, we can't repeat history. How do we change that? By knowing history. By knowing that each day is different and that fall does come and it does remind us that we're going to have less light. But it doesn't mean we're going to have fewer lessons learned. We've got to stay as bright as the sun at 12 noon. And the way that you do that is that you ignite your own journey and not what's being printed on paper or shown on Facebook pages, as well as CNN.com and FoxNews.com, because that's not a walk-in way. Holding on to headlines and storylines that do nothing more than convince you that the world is coming to an end. So how do you change that? Do books of motivation work? Well, what about your own Bible? What about studying the message that your pastor or preacher shared? What if you don't go to church? What if you meditated? What if you didn't walk that way? What if we stood here like a bump on a log and it felt like every other day? It's a choice. It's having the strength and the courage to say, I don't have to be a part of this. It's not going to be a day-by-day thing. I'm going to recognize the difference in every day. Now, I do that because I'm a daily writer. I've been doing this since July of 1994. Recognizing not the indifference, but the difference in your presence and what you bring to each and every one of your moments. If you don't practice any religion, I'm okay with that. Look up the word mindfulness. And then be grateful for your place on the planet. I'm Arroe. These are not my words. These are the lyrics from Billy's Forest.